There's a trend I've noticed on the internet. Maybe it's in the real world as well, but it's big on the internet. That magnetic draw towards highlighting the negative. I can't tell you how many times I've hopped on Facebook or Twitter and see someone posting about this terrible thing that happened to them. Man, woke up to a flat tire this morning, gonna be a great day. I can sympathize. Those things suck. They are inconvenient, unexpected, time-consuming, and a waste of energy. You usually have plans, and something like this keeps you from those plans. So later in the day, that same person spills a drink on their shirt while they're still at work. This day just keeps getting better and better. Hashtag worst day ever. The next day, another series of posts about things gone wrong. Why me? I have the worst luck ever. A week goes by, and every single day there is at least one post about how the world has done them wrong and how terrible life truly is. You might just see an extremely negative person or someone who is seeking attention, but I think there's a couple of things that might be going on behind the scenes that no one really talks about. First of all, look at the posts, most commonly seen on Facebook. It's usually a highlight reel of all the best moments of a person's life. Pictures of vacations, getting engaged, hanging out with friends, going to parties, having fun, basically anything memorable in a positive light. But from the outside looking in, anyone who doesn't participate in those things, can't afford vacations, is struggling to find a stable relationship, doesn't go out to parties, and has limited friends. When they get hit with all these positive experiences others are having, they think, why aren't those things happening to me? It's confusing to see others who live their lives and only experience the best parts of it. They choose not to show any sign of frustration or struggle because they don't want to burden others with the worst aspects of their personal lives. Also, by making those struggles public, it may influence how their friends and family view them as an individual. But beyond the idea of misinterpreted social experiences is the root cause of a lot of stress, social anxiety, and disappointment. Expectations. What if I were to tell you, from here on out, you can expect your life to be perfect. That you'll never have another cold, another stomach ache, you'll never experience loss, you'll have financial stability, and you'll be happy. Always. You would instantly call bullshit because all of those things are impossible to promise. You know that things go wrong and that life isn't perfect, but there lies the contradiction. If we know for a fact that life is not perfect and things can go wrong, why are we so massively devastated when things happen that are not in our favor? To expect that things will go smoothly forever is unrealistic. Yet that's the way that most people live their lives. When things are going good, they can never be bad. And when things are bad, you're stuck there forever. But neither is true. Expectations are a funny thing. Have you ever gone to a movie that was advertised and hyped up to be this amazing best movie of all time? It won awards and everyone can't stop talking about it. Then you see it, and it kind of fell flat. Or the opposite. Here's a movie that got zero press, bad reviews, barely a mention by any of your friends. You go and see it. It's probably one of the best movies that you've ever seen. There's the possibility that objectively these movies were either good or bad. But I'm willing to bet that at the very least, the expectation you had going into the theater was a factor in how much you enjoyed the movie. Well, here's a hard pill to swallow. Expectations can ruin relationships as well. Sometimes we force something we would expect of ourselves onto our friends, family, and significant others. There's nothing wrong with expecting others to behave in a certain way or deliver on certain things as long as they're aware of those expectations. But it's completely unfair to set expectations for someone that they have no idea they're responsible for. Then get mad at them for not reading your mind. That's like expecting your friends to show up and help you move, but never tell them the moving date. It's no different if you're going on a date and you expect the other person to pay, or you expect them to plan the whole thing, or you expect them to call you the next day and they don't. They need to know what you're expecting ahead of time. Because if not, your expectations aren't met, and now you've had a terrible date. The only way for someone to meet your expectations is to let them know what your expectations are. If you've made it clear, and everyone agrees, and those expectations still aren't met, then of course, you have the right to confront them. But don't expect them to have a crystal ball that tells them how to meet your every want and desire, and that they choose to ignore it. By setting unrealistic expectations, you set yourself up for disappointment. Things will go wrong, but it's not your responsibility to expect that they will. That would be frustrating and exhausting to constantly assume that because things are good now, they will be terrible soon. Instead of being always prepared for the inevitable bad times, control how you react when expectations aren't met. When things go wrong, they're just something that didn't go according to the plan you had in your head. It's not inherently bad, just different. So take those inconvenient deviations to your original plan, edit the plan to include them, and continue as you would as if you experienced a welcome surprise. If that wasn't a big enough lesson about expectations, I'm now going to end this video in the middle